Hey guys, welcome to another episode of A&L Tech Review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new 2017 MacBook Pro. It's the 13.3-inch model without the touch bar installed. So feel free to sit, watch, and I hope you enjoy my review on this. Alright guys, here is the new 2017 MacBook Pro 13.3-inch that I was telling you about. So to start off with, here are the specs that you are going to get with this particular model. You are going to receive an Intel i5 dual-core processor running at 2.3 gigahertz with a turbo boost of up to 3.6 gigahertz. This particular model also came with 8 gigs of RAM running at 2133 megahertz. It is their LPDDR3 RAM. Now, keep in mind, this is soldered onto the motherboard. This also comes with 128 gigabyte PCIe SSD. The one upside to the non-touch bar for the MacBooks. The SSD can be upgraded and you can add up to a 1 terabyte SSD on this. Now, if you're willing to spend about $1,000, go for it. The next you get is the brand new Intel Iris 640 graphics. It is running 1.5 gigs of the RAM is dedicated to that, as well as you are getting 2 Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports. There is a headphone jack, as well as the brand new 802.11 AC Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2. You do get a front-facing camera for still being able to do what you've always been, making video calls via Skype or FaceTime. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we're working with. So this came pre-installed with macOS Sierra version 10.12, and then later you were able to upgrade right away to 10.13. Now, here is a few downsides to this particular machine. The downsides to this machine is that it only comes with 2 USB Type-C ports right here and here. The speakers on this are absolutely fantastic. We'll go ahead and we'll play a song here in just a little bit so you can kind of hear how well they sound. The trackpad itself is much bigger than it ever used to be. The keys they're using their, I call it butterfly keys. They've got a real nice type to them, but yet it just feels weird compared to the old MacBooks. Still got your power key right up top there in the corner. The other downside is they got rid of the battery indicator on here. And then also there is no HDMI port on this. There are no regular USB Type A ports that we are used to seeing. There is no SD card slot on this either. They basically just went to USB-C. The other downside is that also there is no more MagSafe with this at all either. So with that said, let's go ahead and load up a song here. And we'll just go straight to YouTube. Go ahead and hit up this group called Bars and Melody. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but they're one of my favorite groups. Let's go ahead and check out the sound.
I told you once, I told you twice, I'll never break any of my promises.
The speakers themselves have a really good, fulfilling sound compared to the older ones. The bass sounds pretty good. The mid sound, or the high sound, very good, but the mids aren't so great. But here's the biggest thing. It's a $1,300 laptop, and they give you no extra ports right off the box, or right out of the package. You got those 2 USB ports that I told you about. So what I have gone and done, once again, also because it's only the 128 gigabyte hard drive, I actually took some Velcro strips, put a external hard drive here, made it USB Type-C, generation 2, but then I've also gone and gotten a I/O gear, so that way you can physically see all the ports right there. And once again, I just Velcroed this to the bottom of the protective case, so that way it's with me all the time. Got 3, this particular model from I/O Gear gives you 3 USB Type-C ports, a micro SD slot, a regular SD slot, Ethernet, Thunderbolt 2, HDMI, and VGA output, plus USB Type-C pass-through, so that way you can still charge from the backside right here. Now, the one thing that I have learned with this is that when it's hooked up to a MacBook, this only supports 1 extra monitor. If you hook this up to a Windows machine, you can actually have 3 monitors running at the same time. So you can run 3 additional monitors through Windows. I don't know why. The other thing I've noticed is that if you're going to use the micro SD slot, cannot use the SD slot at the same time. They both do not work together either, which was a little disappointing on that. But the machine itself is actually pretty nice. It's very light, even with the extra pieces I've got. But one thing I really like about this is that it actually sits at an angle. So when you open it up here, you've got just a little bit of an angle, which is actually what I really love, to give it that nice little slanted look. So that way, I think it's easier to type that way. I think it does a fantastic job. But the big question is, are you willing to spend $1,300 on a MacBook? Get those off. Are you willing to spend $1,300 on a MacBook that only comes with 128 gigabytes of storage and also only comes with 8 gigs of RAM? Like I said, you can upgrade the hard drive. The RAM is the most important part because they no longer give you the ability to upgrade it. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide if it's worth the $1,300. I got this as a replacement because my old one broke. Via the warranty that I have through my cable company, they protect accidentally laptops and tablets and iPads. So, that said, they replaced it because they couldn't fix my old one. So far I like it. It's still taking some getting used to. The big thing I plan to do is upgrade it to at least a 512 SSD hard drive. That way I have a little more storage and I don't have to lug around that huge external hard drive. But for right now, it works. And the I/O Gear ports on the back is about $120. Absolutely the best investment that you can make. Now, you do not have to do what I did. I just went ahead and Velcroed it to the back, like I said, just so I can keep it with me all the time, because I still have a lot of flash drives that have that, and I don't want to carry around tons of dongles, because that's what you're going to have to do. If you buy this machine, you will have to get adapters to convert it back to the old ones. I would rather spend the money up front on just one rather than spending it on a whole bunch that I have to carry around. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I think it's a good machine. I run it as my daily driver. I take it with me pretty much everywhere I go, and I think it does a fantastic job. So when I'm not at work, this is what I use. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, please remember to give me a thumbs up and a like. Thanks, guys.